So, in light of everything going on the last week or so with Transformers news, Studio Series and Michael Bay, Josh Cooley, five new movies coming out in the next probably 10 years, I'd say. They're going to spread them out. It's really crazy. And I wanted to talk about this piece of news that came out like a week and a half ago at the time of this recording. So Hasbro said, and I think it was in like a fan stream, they said Skids and Mudflap with Studio Series are now on the table. They're going to be doing them at some point. So it begs the question with the title of this video, how is that going to look when we inevitably see these figures? I mean, they confirmed it. It's coming sooner rather than later, it seems like. And with this news of Michael Bay coming back, this resurgence of live action Transformers movies going forward, it seems like Paramount is going to want to do. Because Rise of the Beast, it was a start of something, but it was kind of like it came and went. It's been over 2 years now. It seems like they may not even be following that movie anymore. We got to wait and see on how the G.I. Joe crossover movie is going to be. And if that movie is even still coming out, we have no idea. Like, we legit don't know anything. We don't know what the five movies are going to be. We're not even sure if Michael Bay is 100% directing a film. He's just either in talks or rumored to be directing a movie right now. So a lot of stuff is just up in the air with questions. But with Skids and Mudflap here, they're obviously going to be deluxe, I'd say. I don't think they're going to do them as core class. I think that'd be too small and too cheap for these characters. And plus, core class really isn't even around anymore unless if they're like packed in or something, which I don't think they're going to do either. Or maybe they might in like a box set, but Studio Series doesn't really do that sort of thing unless if it's mainline generations. So I don't know about that being the case either. So I definitely do feel like these are going to be like mainline deluxes, $25, almost $30 for these guys. Obviously I can't judge a figure that doesn't exist yet, but hopefully they turn out good. I have the original Revenge of the Fallen deluxes that came out in 2009. I still think those are great figures. They scale fairly decently with new figures from Studio Series still. They may be a tad bit too tall. What I do is to make their height better is there's like double hinges for the knees on them. You could hinge the legs downward a little bit to make them shorter than if you have the legs fully hinged down and everything. So that's what I like to do to make them shorter and make them scale a bit better with newer Studio Series movie figures. So for me personally, it would be really dope to see them get made in the modern era with engineering, articulation, and paint that's a bit more up to date. For my own personal wants and needs for my collection, I already have the originals. I'm good. Like, I customized Skids so he doesn't have the backpack. He looks a bit more movie accurate. And as is, especially for 2009 movie deluxe figures, they're super movie accurate. Like, with some of the details that you get on those original deluxe figures, I'm not totally sure if Hasbro can recreate some of what made those figures work back in 2009. It's a little bit questionable with how things are nowadays with budgets and just how they handle certain things. Maybe in terms of articulation and sculpt, it'll be a little bit better. But overall look and transformation, I don't know. That, in my opinion, that would be up in the air. Even in terms of just, I don't know, maybe even in terms of articulation too. Like, they have ball jointed and hinged feet. Since when? How often do you get ball jointed and hinged feet? It's one or the other nowadays. How often do you get double jointed elbows? A ball jointed and a hinged head, which I'm pretty sure both of them have. I know Mudflap does. I can't remember if Skids does. They have that gimmick feature where they like bob their heads back and forth like they're dancing and stuff, and some of the chest pieces move along with their heads. It's that mech tech gimmick. I don't really think it works that well. It's like one of the only downsides of those original deluxe molds. I think in terms of maybe just having a better scaled figure and something that's a bit more streamlined within Studio Series, they would be a bit better redone in modern times. But when would these even come out? I feel like with Michael Bay probably coming back to direct a movie in the next couple years, there's going to be a resurgence of Bayformers type influence in the franchise, more so than it already has. Like, you already have a dedicated line for Bayverse stuff, more or less. The last couple of years it's been a little rocky, but we have our own Bayverse subline within mainline Hasbro Transformers, which is crazy. That's how popular that side of the franchise is still to this day, over 18 years later. It's insane. And people still try and deny and downplay the impact of the Bayverse and how much people love it, but that's okay. That's fine. Let those people do what they do on Twitter, complaining about things with the movies almost 20 years later. Some of the stuff I agree with, some of the stuff just feels a little bit too much and out there, but it's different times. It's not freaking 2008 anymore, but even though I low-key wish it was, but it's not, unfortunately. I think with them teasing these guys in 2025, right? Maybe they come out a couple years from now. I'm thinking 2027, 2028 at the earliest. I wouldn't say at the latest, at the earliest, because we already have most, if not all, the Studio Series listings for 2026, and they're not showing up, it looks like. We're already starting to get stuff for 2027, and I don't know, they're introducing the comic subline. It seems like we're going to be getting more cartoon characters in Studio Series as well, potentially with G1 seasons 1 through 4 characters getting done in Studio Series now. So I feel like they're going to have to compete with some new sublines within the toy line, which does suck, but I guess that's just the name of the game. I mean, Studio Series sells well. I think it sells better than regular mainline generations from what we could tell. I don't know for sure, I'm just speculating, but that's what it seems like, considering a lot of the stuff sells out a lot quicker. They're expanding the line to like 4 or 5, 6 different sublines now at this point, and it's the longest running Transformers line ever. It's been going on for almost 10 years now. We're looking at over 7 years at this point, and it's expanding to it till at least 2027, 2028, we know. So this line is going to be going on for at least 10 years. And if that's not the biggest factor in terms of realizing that this is the best moneymaker for Hasbro Transformers figures, I don't know what is. In terms of that in competition, I feel like with the demand and everything, possibly 2028, I'd say, they release Skids and Mudflap at Studio Series. I think that's the most ideal, and it makes the most sense for what they're going for in the timeline that we have right now for releases. They very well could be 2027. We don't know everything that's dropping for that year. I mean, it's over 2 years from now. We only have a couple listings from what I remember. And I think none of those are deluxes either. I may be remembering things wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's just some leader class and maybe some Voyagers we know about for 2027. So I feel like, 2027, 2028 would be the perfect time to release those, especially around that time. We're probably going to be filming or getting the Michael Bay movie soon, possibly, because it seems like that one and the Josh Cooley one, they're fast tracking. I think those ones are going to come out either the same year, similar to what MCU or Star Wars or DC, what they do with their cinematic universe movies, or they may come out a year or two after each other. So I think they're going to want to bank off that hype and just, start getting done these key Bayverse characters that still need Studio Series figures for modern times. So I definitely do feel like that's going to be the most ideal, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments below. How do y'all feel about us getting Skids and Mudflap in Studio Series, and when do you think these figures are going to be released? And yeah, thank y'all for watching this video. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye!